Fellow Prime enjoyers, our brand is under attack by the American government. Welcome to VK's Views, a new series where I'm VK. I will tell you my views on the news. And let's get right into it. So today's story, if you guys haven't heard, the FDA are coming after Logan Paul and KSI for their product Prime. Now, I want to go on record and state that I heavily enjoy Prime as a product, and not just because I support KSI, mainly KSI, but I will say the product is very useful. I use it for training for soccer, I use it for gym, I use it for when I'm running late to work, and it's an amazing product. And I'm not just, again, I want to go on record to state I'm not just saying that because I support KSI, but the FDA is scrutinizing Logan Paul and KSI for their use of advertising and their method of advertising, I should say. So what I mean by that is the FDA is accusing Logan Paul and KSI to marketing towards kids. However, there is some suspicions that are being raised about this. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there's other companies that do the same, but we hear nothing from them. So Senator Schumer has called out Logan Paul specifically, not KSI, because again, he's American and no one really knows who KSI is in this country, but calls out Logan Paul for not only false advertisement, but also for misadvertising. And what I mean by that is they're saying that they're failing to promote the 18 and over warning that are printed on every bottle of Prime and every can of Prime Energy. Hi, Future VK here. I meant to say every can of Prime Energy. On the hydration, it's not printed because it is safe to consume for all ages. My apologies. So despite this warning, he's saying that Logan Paul and KSI are targeting their advertising to people under the age of 18. So according to the NPR.org, on Sunday, Schumer held a press conference calling for the US FDA to investigate Prime's energy drink, calling it a cauldron of caffeine that posed serious health concerns for kids. Schumer described his announcement as partially a public service warning for parents, taking aim directly at how the product was portrayed online. A lot of parents may not have ever heard of it, but their kids have. That's because Prime is engaged in a vast advertising campaign aimed at kids. Each 12-ounce can of Prime Energy is equivalent to 2 cups of coffee, or roughly 6 cans of Coca-Cola, which equals 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is significantly more than other energy drink brands, including Red Bull, which is 80 milligrams per 8.4-ounce can, and Monster, 160 milligrams per 16-ounce can. So this is where I start to get a little frustrated with this situation, because at the end of the day, he's making the wrong comparison. So you're comparing an 80 milligram, you're comparing a 12-ounce can of Prime to an 8.4 ounce of Red Bull. So if I look up Red Bull 12-ounce caffeine, it's 102 milligrams. Now, don't get me wrong, that's still significantly lower than the can of Prime, right? But then we take a look at other brands. Let's take a look at Reign. Reign is something very similar to Prime Energy. It is a workout energy beverage that has 18.75 milligrams of caffeine pure per fluid ounce, which is 16 fluid ounce can have a total of 300 milligrams per caffeine. So that's exceeding the Prime. Now, if we look up Reign 12-ounce caffeine content, you're looking at about 200 milligrams of caffeine. But that's not the kicker. Let's take energy drinks out of that. He brought out coffee. When you go to a coffee shop and order a large coffee, it's typically 32 ounces, correct? A 32-ounce cup of coffee is 364 milligrams of coffee, which is significantly more than a Prime Energy. Now, don't get me wrong. I see a lot of under 18 people going to Dunkin' Donuts, going to Starbucks, getting a large cup of coffee, and are they being told about the caffeine content? Are they being told about, how their marketing is aimed more towards children? So let's humor me here. How much caffeine is in a venti Starbucks coffee? 415 milligrams in a large venti brewed Starbucks coffee. So why isn't Starbucks being investigated? I would say Starbucks commercials are actually more tailored towards a younger audience than Prime commercials are. He's calling for an investigation because apparently KSI and Logan Paul are aiming towards the younger demographic. Well, let's look at their demographics. Logan's Paul demographic is between 18 and 24 years old, and it's nearly 60% male. That's about 50. I think I believe it said 54% of his entire demographic is that. That's more than 50%. Now, obviously, he has people that are under the age of 18. That's still, I'm acknowledging that fact. However, when more than half of your demographic is over the age of 18, you cannot specifically say that they are targeting that age. Same with KSI's. KSI's demographic is about the same, 54%. So, I have a theory, and this is my theory. The big companies such as Powerade and Gatorade, who are owned by PepsiCo and Coca-Cola respectively, are seeing a downshift. We're seeing a more reflection of people going away from Gatorade and going towards Prime and other natural hydrating drinks such as Body Armor and stuff like that. So I did some research. Coca-Cola and PepsiCo fund health networks that run under the FDA. So because of that, these health networks receive more funding, and that funding then gets backed into the FDA. So typically, what I'm trying to say is because Coca-Cola and PepsiCo are taking a hit through Gatorade and Powerade, the FDA is also taking a hit because their funding is going down from those companies that PepsiCo and Coca-Cola run. So in my honest opinion, I really think the American government, which is already riddled with a lot of illegal funders and a lot of people having their hands in the pot, I think the investigation shouldn't be on Logan Paul and KSI, advertising to the wrong audience. I think they should really take a look at who's funding their programs, and instead of being biased towards it, actually know what's right for the people. The one thing I also want to mention is the very much lack of recognition between the energy drink and the hydration drink. There was a story that Logan put up. I cannot find it anywhere for some reason. It's basically him describing the difference between the hydration and the energy drink, and even though both have the warning of 18 plus and older, it's a very good comparison. And Logan even goes as far as drinking water is also important. So if you want to look at that, is he's actually hurting his brand by saying you still need to drink water and that Prime Hydration is not a substitute, in which a lot of people may think, which actually would hurt their sales. Long story short, Prime's not going anywhere. They're not going to get arrested. They're not going to get a fine. Prime is going to stay on the shelves for us to enjoy. And honestly, I just genuinely think that the FDA should stop caring about the bigger companies that are honestly way more corrupt than two YouTubers who are trying to make a living for themselves outside of YouTube. Again, this is VK's views. This is my opinion. You can disagree with me if you want. You might not have to like Logan. You might not have to like KSI. You might not have to like any of them. But I think we could both agree that this is all happening just because Gatorade and Powerade are just angry at the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that episode of VK's Views. I just want to shout out Mogul Mail, because I've done these type of videos before with the Seth the Programmer drama, etc., stuff like that. I really took a lot of the stuff that Ludwig does with Mogul Mail, and I took a lot of inspiration from that. I've always wanted to do something similar to that, so the fact that now I have a platform, I think it's a great time to introduce it. Also, if the quality is a lot higher, I got a new webcam. I'm using the Elgato face cam. I'm loving it so far. The quality looks so much better. I look so much more high def compared to how it used to be, so hopefully the YouTube videos will come out a lot better in the near future. I also have a big video of my Amazon Prime Day haul coming out soon. I'm very excited for that. And if you guys are excited for more VK views, I'm going to do these throughout the time. I'm not going to make a different channel. It's just whenever it comes up, it comes up. You know what I mean? So I'll see you guys in the next episode, and take care.